Hi everyone, welcome back. So I was actually supposed to be getting ready for a date here, but it was canceled. I was really excited to like get cute and put together and stuff, so I think I'm still going to do that and figure out something for myself, whether that's taking myself on a date or looking up every possible severance theory for fun. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, but we'll see how I feel and who I am at the end of this look. And I have some Phytosurgence products to finally try out. This brand has been on my radar for a while and I finally placed an order. So let's get into today's video. I first need to put on some lip balm. I'm almost done this one. Very proud of myself for that. I put strict boundaries with myself on this lip balm. I was like, this one's not allowed to leave my office because I feel like I'm constantly running around looking for lip balm. Oh, hi Danny. I'm going to be using my E.L.F. Power Grip Primer and I'm going to use like 3 pumps of this. And I can confirm that this Givenchy foundation is really good. I was a little resistant to change because I love the previous foundation so much, but this is a really good upgrade. And this and the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer work so well together. And I'm using the shade 2N in this foundation and it's basically the perfect match for me right now. So I just slapped that on with my BK Beauty 101 brush and I'm going to just go over with my sponge as always. I bit my lips a little bit, I think just out of nervousness. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I've been doing so good at breaking my lip biting habit, but I slipped. Feels kind of swollen. Now for a little concealer, I'm using my NYX Pro Fix Stick in the shade Vanilla. And I'm just going to add this under my eye. Ooh, and I did redo my nails. I loved the fruity ones. They weren't grown out yet, but they didn't feel like me. And these feel a lot more me right now. So cute. I'm now going to set my under eye with a touch of my Huda Beauty setting powder in Pound Cake. And I'm just doing my usual application here with my mini powder puff. Okay, it's time to whip these Phytosurgence products out. I'm going to start with the Spectral Sunlight Cream Bronzers. I purchased 2 shades, shade 2 Rosy Daybreak and shade 3 Golden Warmth. This is shade 3 here and shade 2. I think I'm going to start with this shade here. They look like an average cream bronzer in the pan, but they made sure to mention that these products are a little bit more unique and they have a little bit of a learning curve to them. So these are like a powder cream hybrid. They are a stiffer texture and they don't really feel like a cream to the touch. It honestly feels like a wax, which is really interesting. And they make sure to mention that it works better with a stiffer bristled brush, kind of like this, over like a fluffy brush. And these are not formulated to be worked in with fingers. I'm excited to try this over foundation. I've only used these on my bare skin so far, but I want to see what it looks like. So I'm just going to tap this over the areas I want to add some definition and color and bronze. And it says that this dries down to a natural satin finish with the slightest very gently blurring quality. No wet oil slick vibes here, which sounds way up my alley. I might incorporate the deeper shade right on my forehead. I'm just feeling like a little bit more drama today. So I'm going to swap over to the darker color now with that same brush. This is a Rose Ink number 3. I really like these colors too, and they have a good shade range. Interesting, it's working really nicely like a stiffer cream, but it does kind of look like a powder on my skin. It looks like a powder, but I like set it in with a setting spray, if that makes sense. Like it really sunk into my foundation beautifully. Ooh, I like that. I really liked it on bare skin as well, but on foundation, that looks like almost airbrushed. Really, really happy with that. They have another version of a highlight. They come in like a little pot, but I was more drawn to this one because listen to this description. It adds a diffused glitter-free radiance that's unlike any traditional highlighter on the market. It smooths and blurs the skin, imparting the most gentle and soft luminosity. It's not glossy, reflective, or metallic, or high shine. If you want a head-turning highlighter that's blinding at all angles, this isn't for you. This is instead a beautifully refined lighting filter for the skin. Hello, that sounds gorgeous. And I have 2 shades here, Cool Candlelight and Divine Daylight. So a pinkier one and a golden one. I kind of feel like a golden girl today. So I'm going for this one. You can use fingers for this one, but they also recommend kind of a denser brush. I'm going to opt for this one from Fenty Beauty. This is the 110. And they say to smoosh the brush into the product. The analogy they like is to pretend you are spreading cold butter on toast. Then to apply, use short swiping, dragging motions to blend into the skin. So I'm assuming kind of like this. Okay, let's build her up. They say to be kind of aggressive in here, to build it up on the brush, like so. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I love that. The description sounded so beautiful, but it's like even more beautiful on the cheek. It is blurring, like it's really nice. I'm really liking my experience with these products so far. They feel very unique and different because of like that waxier texture and kind of like that new learning curve. It kind of is exciting me. I honestly might even use this on my best friend for her wedding in Mexico. Like this is such a ethereal shine that's like not too greasy or like anything. It just adds like that perfect bridal glow to me. Ooh, love. And of course, I had to pick up a few of the blushes. They have a specific like bronzy blush collection, which that's what drew me in the most to begin with. And these come in like these really cute little pots, and feeling them in the pan, I already wore this one when I went to the gym. If I'm leaving my apartment, I like to wear a little bit of blush just so I can feel a little bit more alive. But they feel really nice and moussey. They have quite a bit more air, it feels like, in comparison to the other two products I used. You can see how it creates those little peaks. The three shades I picked up are Evaporate, Swelter, whoa, I picked up a lot, and Sublimate. Let me shear those out further because that's not a really good representation of like the tone and the undertone. Shear them out so you can see what it would look like more accurate. Okay. Okay, pigment. Okay. Little goes a long way. Just so you can see it more accurately if you're blending it on your cheek and actually wearing it like a blush. Ooh, I really like all of these colors. I can't believe how much that little bit went. Okay. I love all these colors. This is kind of like a nice everyday tone. This I'll be wearing in the summer when I want kind of like that sunburnt look without the skin damage. But this looks like an everyday kind of bronzy color I would love to wear all the time. So I'm gonna use that shade. And I'm thinking of just using that same Rose Ink No. 3 brush. I'm just going to wipe off whatever bronzer is left on my brush. And I'm going to gently tap in there. Very easy to apply. I'm like using a weird technique with no rhyme or reason. I'm actually going to just grab this clean brush just so that I don't apply more pigment. I just want to blend it out nice. I'm so silent because I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. This color is adorable. I feel like I just stepped off the beach. Like my skin is feeling very sun-kissed, although I have not seen the sun in months. Oh, I really, really like my cheeks today. I grabbed one more thing, and then they included 2 of their tinted lip balms, which I'll try later on, but I don't know if I'm going to go in with this today, but this is the Lunar Lightwave Flash Cream Eyeshadow. And on the website, it kind of reminded me of like a creamy version of Urban Decay Space Cowboy. I just don't really feel like wearing glitter today. The glitter particles are for sure a little bit more chunky than Space Cowboy, but that is really pretty. See, it has that kind of like nice soft bronzy base with that gorgeous reflect. I'm going to powder a little bit more. I'm going to take my KOSAS Cloud Set in the shade Feathery just to kind of set down the center here. So while I think about eyes, I'm going to do my brows, so please enjoy the kitten intermission. I'm thinking of doing maybe something a little bit more lip focused. Kulfi Beauty came out with 3 new shades in their lip stain. I swatched them here next to the previous shades I had. I think I'm just going to do a little something simple with my VIEVE Soul Shadows palette in the shade Gilt. I think I'm just going to take the 2 matte shades from this. I don't know if I'm a lash lift girly because like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to access my lids as good as I need to for my job. But I really like the tint. So I'm just going to take that lighter matte and just put that in my crease. I'm going to take a more dense brush. This is a BMX 466 shade brush from Moda. And I'm going to pat that same first shade on my lid and all my eyelashes. I'm tapping gently into the darker, just on the outer. I'm going to just take that same brush and I'll just sweep this across as well. Taking the darker one just to enhance where I like to right here. I think I'll leave it at that. And I do have the Kulfi Beauty mascara. I'm kind of hoping it will kind of weigh down my lashes. And this is called the Badi Lash mascara. For lip liner, I'm going to use my FRECK Makeout Club in the shade 4. And I did swatch all of the Kulfi Beauty staining lip oils on my arm here, so they had enough time to really stain my arm so you can see the undertones. But these 3 here are the new shades. We have Sweet, Guava, and Fig, and these are the original 4 that I had. Up top, the purpley one is Lucky Lotus. Then we've got Tamarind. This one is for Sorry, which is kind of close to Fig. Fig is just a little bit deeper. And then down here is Black Cherry, which was previously my favorite shade. So I'll wipe away this so we can see the undertones, making sure not to mix them up together. Me like trying to put my nails in the shot because I think they look so pretty, but here are the stains. Because of the tones, I feel like the shade Sweet makes the most sense. So I'm going to go in with that one. These may seem very similar to the Rare Beauty staining lip oils. In a lot of ways they are, but this one feels a lot more watery, less lacquered feeling on the lips. It's not as glossy in finish, which some people may really like. I think I actually prefer these over the Rare Beauty ones. If you ask me what I prefer, I really like the Kulfi Beauty ones because it comes down to the texture, of course, and the variety of shades and how differently they stain. A lot of like the Romand Juicy Lasting tints or the Rare Beauty ones do pull very pinky. These ones have like quite a bit of variety in the stains. You always have to kind of give them a second to like sink into your lips so you can see the true color. And I think the FRECK lip liner was a perfect choice. They like really complement each other. But here is the look I came up with for today. I don't know what I feel like doing with my day now that I don't have a date. I don't know. I completely forgot about these here. I got excited about the stains, but these are the Phytosurgence Calm Conditions lip balms. They sent over 2 colors. I'll swatch them quick. I'll have to use these in a future video, especially now that my lips are nice and stained. Distant Depths, Warm Waves, right here. Okay, I'll have to test those out another time. But I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'll have all of the products I used listed and linked with the shade names in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!